Tetris 99 representation. Who knew? How many of you guys were probably still joking around when it came to, having a Tetris block in Smash as a playable fighter? Just a little curious about that, though. Not sure if the joke works now, but anyways. I got something a bit more important to discuss. So as we draw near to Terry's release, we have contemplated on who this fifth fighter in the Fighter's Pass will be. Now, for a time, we had a few major competitors, and for the most part, it was either Ryu Hayabusa from the Ninja Gaiden series, or Crash Bandicoot. Now, I remember saying something about what was his name? Itagaki, the current creator of Ninja Gaiden. That he never talked to Sakurai on Smash Ultimate, and he would have pushed for Kasumi from Dead or Alive. This led me to believe that Ryu Hayabusa would be, deconfirmed as it goes. Yeah, it's probably a stretch on my part, but, for a time it did look like, Ryu Hayabusa could be backed, as, we had a couple of leakers who might have backed this. When Terry was revealed for the fourth fighter, user I Am Shifty refused to back down that Ryu Hayabusa would be in Smash, as he initially guessed that was the fourth fighter. We have Terry Bogard as of now, and he's on his way. November, or could it be this coming week? I don't know. Then there was this brew leak that predicted Piranha Plant, but they say there was a small circle of people who saw that coming, not just brew. And anyways, this brew leak also said Ryu Hayabusa would be the fifth fighter. It's been proven that this brew leak has been false. Now, there may be something about a cease and desist set up against him, like there was against user Sabi. But there's reason to believe that the C&D against Brew was made up. And not to mention, Sabi had come forward and pretty much said not to back Ryu Hayabusa nor Crash as the fifth fighter. But not only did Brew refuse to back down, he was still insisting that Ryu Hayabusa was in 100%. Now this C&D was false information because he'd be breaking NDA and C&D by stating this. So we pretty much can't abide by the brew leak. Much. Anyways, what I really want to bring up is this so-called Dojin leak that's been, initially it got started about 11 months ago. And this was information that from Dojin circles that Tohu music was being remixed. And whether or not this leak is false, there's something else. That there's a bunch of events that followed over the course of 11 months that could get people behind Reimu Hakare in Smash. This includes the interview with Zun, the creator. Now his interview was held in March, but yet it wasn't uploaded until several months later, as in sometime earlier this month. Why did that happen, I wonder? Surely this information would have been made public as soon as they had the interview, but no. And what happened this month was the leak resurfaced. The leak resurfaced and apparently is still strong. So there we have it, a leak, and then 11 months later, here it is again. And with Rio and Crash kind of out of the running, it feels like, in short, that Reimu Hakare is one of our last competitors for the 5th fighter. But there's one more thing. In light of this Tetris event, user Papaginos brought up that it's safe to speculate that Arla Naja from Puyo Puyo could be the 5th fighter. Her series is... Well, the game world of Puyo Puyo is much like Tetris, much like Dr. Mario, and then we wonder, why are we getting the Tetris event? Sometimes when we would get a Spirit Board event, it would usually coincide with a game, but we're getting this now. So as far as speculation goes, we're pretty much down to Reimu or Arl. Ryu and Crash are pretty much out of running, as Sabi was curious enough to point out. And then there's Vergiben. He pretty much came out and said the 5th fighter will not be Ryu Hayabusa, and said that the only reason Hayabusa was even a contender was because of assumptions. And this includes the assumptions of the history of Ninja Gaiden being one of the last NES classics of its time. So with that, Vergiben said it's not Hayabusa. And Sabi said it may not be Hayabusa nor Crash. The easy way out is to think that we really don't know who this 5th fighter is, and it could be anybody. But if there's anyone who's up for speculation at the time, it's these two girls. Reimu Hakare or Arl Naja. And that's if you want to speculate and, want to lean towards something.